Hello, everybody. Whoa, we're all shifted. Look at us. There we go. We're back on it now. How's it going, folks? Welcome to NUFC Talk TV. We're live with Player Scores live show, player ratings live show. It takes a minute. It takes about an hour, really, to rate these players. So we didn't. We wanted to do a separate show, and also it adds. It lets people and the fans watch the game over and over again, watch the extended highlights over and over again, kind of calm down after the um, the everything that was happening yesterday in the stadiums, whether it's a good victory or a loss. It gives us time to reminiscence on the game and actually get our thoughts right. So first of all, hit that like button. Please do that right now. Close the chat for a second. Hit that like button. um, Second of all, subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can become a member if you want to. If you want to enjoy exclusive content, videos that nobody else has seen before, or full access to all our catalog, because some shows are not our members only after their lives. So if you want access to all of that, be sure to become a member. You can also highlight your comment by sending a super chat or a super sticker, or even gifting memberships away to other people. If you want to contribute and help the channel, please do that. And it's you can do that on the bottom right hand corner, and hit the dollar sign and follow the steps. So we got here a nice panel. We got Mighty Wayne, we got Gary, we got Rolly. It's been a while, Rolly, since we've seen you, man. But you've been busy going to the tune, watching the games. You went to this one. You had to unmute yourself, by the way. Everybody's muted, so make sure you unmute yourselves. And we got Steven Rock the Tune as well. He was yesterday on the match reaction. So we got him on again today to give his opinion on the player by player scores. And so, what we're going to do is the way we scored. Simply, everybody gives the score, and the average, somewhere in the middle score, gets is what we ultimately give the player. So, well, fellas, I hope you're well. Welcome again, and I hope you guys are doing all right. And Newcastle United right now sitting at 10th place, mid table, because of every result, all the results that came to fruition today. The Tottenham score, I didn't like that one, but
I did.
yeah, no, I didn't. But I mean, it puts things. We didn't expect to win to beat Arsenal, so maybe that's why. But now we're only a point away, so that's not a bad thing. But it's very tight right there, man. The race for Europe, I guess you can say, is very tight. And Chelsea drawing with Manchester United as well. I thought Chelsea was going to get that one, but they ended up drawing. And Manchester City losing. That was a shocker for me. And Mighty, when you did say you thought they were going to lose against Bournemouth, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting. And Liverpool, of course, won their game, so they're top of the table right now. Uh, let me get to Rowley, Mr. Rowley. What do you think about the game, mate?
Oh, superb. I was lucky enough to get a ticket to go. Actually, got it on Thursday, so I was really pleased. The atmosphere was superb. I thought we put in a tremendous performance. Everybody on that pitch for us put in a shift. We played some really good football as well. That goal was superb. We thoroughly deserved the win. We made Arsenal look bang average, and they're a very good side. So can't
Yeah, yeah,
complain about anything.
that's right. That's right. I agree with you. A lot of people now are saying, Arsenal, poor side, didn't turn up. Doesn't work like that, man. They didn't turn. They couldn't turn up against us. That Newcastle made them look badly, although they haven't been getting results as of late. But if you actually take a listen to their pundits, their fans, they got YouTube channels, etc. It's they're certainly not happy with the manager and the way he approached the game against Newcastle United. So, but regardless, great victory, fellas. I mean, you guys are quiet.
Yeah.
Great victory.
Superb.
It was,
Yeah,
it
man.
Definitely.
was,
Tell your
I was,
faces that.
well, it's nice just to listen to other people's opinions. And that's what I said yesterday. It's lovely, just to sit back and just listen to the panel, just give their views of what they saw. And like I said, today I've had a chance to look at it again. And as I said in the green room, guys, it was for me such a fluid tactical performance set out by Eddie. going back 2 years to his old trusted ways of the 9 is your first defender. It was in them and at 'em as much as you can. Players literally run the legs off to the point where they were cramping up. I'm talking literally about Willock.
At least they pretended they were.
Well,
The dark arts are back.
I mean, and like you said, that is another beauty. It was the shithousery. Now, I don't know whether any of you guys have seen it, and you need to see it if you were in the ground early. There was a ball that was placed while the lads were warming up in that corner where the ball supposedly went out of play, and it was placed directly on, well, just outside, but it was on the line. And they were doing that literally as they were warming up. Now, if that's not the start of shithousery, I don't know what is, because it was absolutely phenomenal. Well, I've got a picture of it, my friend. You'll see it tomorrow.
Well, it's crazy. You can say some shithousery. To be honest, I mean, just to me, that's just normal, regular, smart football. I mean, wasting time. Not saying that you're going to fall down to the ground every 5 seconds, but you take your time. Or if somebody fouls you, you go down. That's just simple stuff. I thought something that the biggest thing from yesterday was that we play good and we play better than
we did.
League championship contender, not championship, obviously the championship, but Premier League contender. Which they still are, Arsenal. No matter when you think they're going to be relegated this season, I think that's nonsense. But even though they're probably not going to win it, they're probably going to need more to do more, Arsenal. But regardless, they are a side that is going to challenge Man City. Whether that's a strong challenge or a weak challenge, they're going to be there nonetheless, in Liverpool as well. And even Chelsea maybe. So we've beaten two big and tough teams. So as much as I criticize, I cannot agree with the people that underestimate these victories for us, this back-to-back victories. So, Stephen, sorry, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, talking of winning the championship, we had 2 good days under Newcastle this weekend. A good 2-0 win for the women's team against Birmingham, top of the league.
It was a good result, mate.
Yep.
Yeah.
I watched the game today on YouTube. BBC. It was Birmingham City's YouTube, and they absolutely surprised Birmingham, and I think it was a good result.
There we go. Shout out to them. All right, so let's get started.
Shout out to the women's team.
Shout out to the women's team. Shout out to the women's team. How are the lasses? All right, let's get into the player scores. Folks. And obviously, we're gonna go, panelist by panelist, player by player, and you give me your opinion on their particular performance, and you give me your scores, and we'll average them out and see what comes up. So, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
There we go. Let's get right to it. And the number one lad is going to be obviously Nick Pope. So what do you guys rate? Let me go to the mighty win. What do you rate Nick Pope as?
I thought he was absolutely rubbish.
Oh, wow, you see.
I'm looking at his heat map, and he's never away from the goal, man.
Man, I tell you what, man. There you go. There we go.
No matter what Nick Pope did what he had to do. Kicking is still atrocious. Except that there was one in 20, his normal slash, and it was almost a perfect volley to GS7, just couldn't quite control it. If GS7 had controlled it, he would have been away and on goal. But no, it did everything that was needed. He had one save to make, I think.
No, didn't have any.
I think there was one shot on target by Arsenal the whole game, so not sure that he had to do anything other than
they had one.
sketch it.
I know they had one shot on target because they didn't have any the previous last season.
The shot on target was blocked by Lewis Hall, so Pope didn't actually have a save to make in the game.
Right.
There was no saves at all.
I bow to your superior knowledge, Rolly. But anyway, just an easy
Eh,
7. You cannot mark anybody below a 7 yesterday.
And to be fair, well, all right. And to be fair, Raya didn't, other than the goal. So, on that sense, we're very equal. Although, like I said, we play better than them. And a lot of people are giving them 6 points. So, yeah, please in the chat, I didn't say it. So, just let us know your score as well, so we can show it on the screen. And by the way, all members, call out to all members that today we will do the giveaway, and it's going to be a High Pro officially licensed Newcastle United plastic bottle, water bottle, whatever you go to the gym, etc. You can win that. So if you remember, you will be able to participate at the end of the show. Please, folks, remind me. I do have it right on my screen though, so I will be able to see it the whole time. And if you're not a member yet, become a member, and you will get a chance of winning that, and winning something every month as well. So there we go. All right.
And
So
by the way, just in case I forget today, in the club this afternoon, and Jim McKenna, who's a member of the channel,
Jim McKenna. Yeah.
came in and he says, you'll never guess. He says, I was at Liam's. He was at Liam's hairdressers, Jen's hairdressers in Gosforth on Thursday, and what have they got shown in Liam's? NUFC Talk TV on the telly, and
Really?
I mean, both the lads that own the shop are Newcastle staff. The whole shop is decked out in Newcastle memorabilia
Lovely,
and
man.
stuff.
Hell
And they
yeah.
had NUFC on TV.
Hey,
There
gotta
you
get the
go.
proper punditry
listen,
on the
if you,
TV,
if
man.
you need your hair cut in Gosforth, get yourself down to Liam's at Wansbeck Road.
There
I
you
think we
go.
need a sponsor, man.
Yeah.
There we go. So shout out to them. Shout out to those guys over there, man. Great stuff.
Well
Thank
done,
you
yeah.
for
Absolutely
appreciate
excellent.
for the support. All right, Mighty Win. What do you think about Pope? What was your score again?
7.
So Pope, a 7 for the Mighty Win. Gary, what do you think?
6 for me. Back-to-back clean sheets, relatively untroubled throughout. Struggled on the ball, but as in usual with his footwork, kicked a few balls out of play as normal. But like I say, it didn't matter so much today because the lads in front of him blocked absolutely everything. I've never seen a goalkeeper with so much protection, to be fair, as I saw yesterday from the boys. So for me, yeah, a 6. Did what he had to do with his punching. Caught a couple of balls well towards the end to calm everything down. So yeah, 6.
There we go. Mr. Rowley.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with a 6. So he didn't have a single save to make. Commanded his box quite well. I prefer him when he catches rather than punches. Seems like this season he's decided that he's going to punch everything. But that catch at the end, superb. But he frightens me when they pass the ball back to him. I wish they wouldn't.
Yeah. No, that's
Scary
it.
moments.
But seriously, I mean, I'm a dinosaur when it comes to football, man. I think the goalkeeper is to goalkeep, defenders to defend, and so on and so forth. But the managers make the decisions on how they want to play, and if I don't think Eddie is that type of manager, but say if he ever changes his mind to where he wants to have the goalkeeper start the plays and the build up, that's something to take a look at in the future. I'm telling you, because if he can't do it, he can't do it.
I mean, the thing about it is Pope's in his early 30s, so they're going to have a succession plan. I think that's why they're looking at Trafford, someone that could learn behind Pope that's better with their feet. But I think that the next keeper we have will have to be a ball-playing goalkeeper, someone that's a good shot stopper.
The thing is, I think I said yesterday, we've been lulled into this sort of mindset now, with right now having Edison, Allison, and Martinez playing in the Prem, who are generational talents.
Yeah,
all 3 of them.
And
all brilliant with their feet. That's not something that was necessarily a requisite part of a goalkeeper's repertoire back in the day.
No, it wasn't. But
but
When I'm on,
it kind of is now. But you've still, I still think you need to put into perspective. What do you want? Do you want a goalkeeper who's brilliant with his feet, or do you want a goalkeeper who can make saves?
Yeah, but at this day and age, you can have both. So
Yep.
I just want it so that we have a keeper that I don't shoot myself every time we pass back
Yeah,
to
yeah.
him.
Oh, I know what you're saying, Rolly.
Yeah,
now,
the
I,
difference is
I'm
the
not
the
expecting
goalkeeping
them.
coaching now is so different to how it used to be. Wins right, it used to be all just shot stopping. Now it's progression, from with the goalkeepers all the way through. And what coaches have realised now is actually passing long. If you look at the amount of percentage you actually win the ball from a goalkeeper kicking long, it's immaterial. The ball just comes back at you defensively. So what Pep's brought into the Premier League now with this goal, literally building up from the back. Um, all coaches now, all goalkeeping coaches, are actually bought into the training to play the ball with feet. There's certain possession parts where they're not allowed to pick the ball up at all when they're doing the short games. It is literally all involved. And if you've looked at Newcastle, because we've got so many goalkeepers, we can actually do a square with the goalkeepers, and they actually do that as the lads do it. So you have one in the middle to try and close and challenge the ball, put pressure on them, and the other guys just passing it amongst themselves. So it is something that's being taught going forward. So all of the new kids that are coming through academies these days, all of the younger players, goalkeepers, should already have that in the locker.
I mean, the thing
yeah,
about it is, Win says back in the day, I mean, I know I'm old enough, Win's old enough to remember when you pass back to the goalkeeper, you just pick it up.
Oh
Those
yes,
yeah,
days are long gone.
yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
you've got to be, you just need, I'm not saying I wanted to be Edison, I just wanted to be a little bit better. It just seems to panic when the
Yeah,
ball's
yeah.
played
Yeah.
back.
Well,
It's
but
like,
go
Yeah,
ahead.
because he can't kick for shit. That's why.
No, but
yeah,
the thing though, our players need to be smart. And let me tell you something. There's a play with Gordon, and somebody brought it up in the chat. I think Harpo. Gordon gave passed him the ball so hard,
I know.
but that ain't Pope. That's not Pope's fault.
mm.
If you pass that ball to any goalkeeper, that's too dangerous. You shouldn't be comfortable doing that because he literally passed a missile back to him, and I thought he was going to make a mistake, but for some reason he didn't.
I
But
mean,
you got to be
with all,
careful.
with all said and done with Pope's kicking, at least when he does kick it, it's not like it's not half-hearted. It goes somewhere, even if it's out of play. It's
Mm.
clearance.
It's definitely clear your lines, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
All right.
I mean, we know his kicking's not going to improve. So I'd rather him just clear the lines than take a touch.
That's true. That's true. All right, Steve, what's your score with Pope?
I'm going to say a 6 as well because, like I
Well,
said, he didn't have a save to make. He did well on the corners to either try and catch or punch it away. There was a couple of times it could have cost us, but I think a 6 would be a fair enough of results for him.
all right,
So,
because three people said 6. Well, Pope gets a 6. As simple as that.
Harsh, giving anybody a 6 yesterday. Harsh,
No,
harsh,
no, it
harsh.
isn't. Everybody got their opinion. All right, Mr. Dan Byrne, the center back in question right now. By the way, I did give Pope a 7, but that didn't matter for anything. So, Mighty Win, what is your take on Dan Byrne? And everybody in the chat, please.
I'm giving Dan a 7 as well. Again, he won all his duels, aerial duels, but honest to God, the first 5 minutes,
He
Saka
shocking. He was
on the
killing him.
left hand side, uh, like where I was sitting, and that he was in acres of space on his own with only Dan Byrne within 2. And I said, if they pass the ball to Saka, now we are done for.
Hmm.
But fortunately, they didn't, and Saka was kind of effective for the first 5-10 minutes, maybe, and thereafter he just disappeared from the game. due to Lewis Hall staying, because in that particular moment, Hall had gone rampaging up the wing. But as soon as Hall took his station, he was in his pocket. In his pocket.
Yeah, wow, what a take. So you said 7
7
or
for me, yeah.
7? I don't think I'm ever going to hear anybody say that Saka was in Burns' pocket. He was certainly Lewis Hall pocket the whole time. Burn, that's questionable. I'm going to
No, I
give.
didn't. I said he was in Lewis Hall's pocket.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Burn. Sorry.
No.
But we were scoring Burn, so it's kind of confusing. All right. I'm going to give Burn a 5 because to me he didn't do anything really. In a bit of a statement score because I would like to see Lloyd Kelly there, and I thought that we certainly, for some odd reason, didn't pay the price on this one. But I thought that you need to have somebody fast, somebody agile, somebody that's big, somebody that's strong, somebody that's a good defender, and I think Dan Burn is somewhat of a good defender, but he's none of everything else that I mentioned. And for some reason, it didn't. It worked out. It worked out. I think we got lucky in that we have Lewis Hall on that left side.
Oh, we got lucky, did we?
So no, as far as Burn is concerned, as far as Burn is concerned. But all right, Gary.
I gave him a 6. It was a wholehearted performance. He did look a bit ropey against Havertz a couple of times. Havertz got past him, and Popey had to come out and cover a couple of times. But eventually, he got to grips too in the game. And again, I don't know whether that was a mental thing because they've got Saka on the one side. It was as if he was tending to move left slightly, which left a little bit of space in the middle of the park. But in the end, he actually got on top of Havertz to the point where Arteta moved Havertz into the middle of the park and he swapped him around with I can never say his name. Was it Trogard?
Trossard.
Trossard. That's the one. That's the one. And he was the one then that was the pinnacle at the top because Havertz wasn't actually getting involved in the game. So you've got to give him credit for that. So for me, I'll give him a 6 because, like I say, it was a wholehearted performance. He did get his head on a lot of the balls. Didn't win everything, I don't think, but he certainly put in a performance.
Okay, so your score was
a 6.
A 6, yeah. All right, Rolly.
I think you're being a bit harsh on him there because
No.
he made some good blocks. He got caught once or twice, but every defender does. I think overall, I thought he put in a decent defensive performance. I mean, like you, Chris, I was wanting Kelly to start. I didn't think he would. But as Gary says, he got the measure of Havertz, and he basically muscled him out of the game. I thought he was had a decent game. So my score, if we can do halves, I'd give him 7.5. I thought overall he is more than decent. Again, you've got to give him credit because he was part of the defence that kept a clean sheet, and he was strong in the box, and he's wholehearted, and he gets his blocks in. So I'll go 7.5.
So you got to choose between 7 or 8.
Well, if I've got to choose between 7 or 8, I'll go 8 then. I'll round up.
All right, Steve.
I totally agree with most of what everyone else has said. And the reason I think Byrne played rather than Kelly is because of the height. And against Arsenal, especially with the corners and everything, Byrne's better for his height than Kelly is. So I think he deserves a 7 at least.
Okay, there we go. We got a 7 there. So middle score 5. I give him a 5. 2 7s, 1 6, 1 8. So what is it? 6, 7?
I'll give him
Well,
a
actually,
7.
we got 2 7s. Yeah, 2 7s.
Yeah,
there we go.
give him a 7.
So we got the 7s. So there we go. Burn with a 7 on the board. By the way, people that are just jumping in, you will see a 0 in the beginning, but that's not the score. So don't get a surprise. Next one, Fabian Schar. Interesting. Fabian Schar All right, mighty win.
I'm giving Fabian Schär 7 as well. Not one of his stellar games, but just steady. Won 2 out of 2 aerial duels. 22 out of 32 accurate passes. Long balls, not so hot. 4 out of 12. 1 successful dribble. If you are looking for a weak link in defence, he was it. But again, I just can't score anybody less than 7 on yesterday's performance. So 7 for me.
Okay, Gary.
I was quite impressed with Schar, to be fair, yesterday. I've given him a 7. Much improved performance this week, despite the odd silly foul and a silly yellow card for kicking the ball away. Which will, again, all these little silly cards when you don't need to can cause us problems going forward. Didn't have much to do, but did create the ball that ended up with us getting the goal. So again, that distribution from the back is something that we can use going forward, and for me deserves a 7. No issues from me.
Okay, Rolly.
Again, I thought he grew into the game. And one thing that I was really pleased about, that he stopped diving in when Arsenal are breaking. He wasn't committing himself and diving in, and staying on his feet, making it harder for them when they did come forward. I thought defensively, again, after a little bit of a shaky start, I thought it was good. His distribution from the back is improving. It's getting back towards what it can be. So it's his long ball to Willock that started the move that set up the goal. I think 7's a decent score for him.
All right, 7. And Steve.
Yeah,
What is your thoughts?
I wouldn't say I was totally impressed with him yesterday, but he did what he needed to do. I think the best kick of the game was when he played the ball forward before the goal. It was a fantastic ball to the middle of the pitch. And I don't think he could have done any more than what he did. So I agree with a 7.
There you go. Look at that. All 7s. 7, 7, 7, 5 times. So he's certainly getting a 7. And there you go. Fabian Schär 7. So next one, Tino Livramento. Livramento, man, what a good performance yesterday, mighty win.
Well, when you're struggling to pick a man of the match, we've had a good game. And he was certainly a man of the match contender. He wasn't my man of the match, but he's a 9 out of 10. 5 out of 5 grown jeweled woman.
Put your mic a little bit closer, mate, because people complain about your mic.
100% grown jewels, 5 out of 5. 2 out of 3 aerial jewels, which is not particularly noted for. 78% pass accuracy, 18 out of 23. And 1 successful dribble. He was immense. I mean, I've obviously watched the game a couple of times now, and the commentators are just waxing lyrical about him and Lewis Hall, and rightly so. I was kind of where you were wanting Kelly in for Burn before the match. I was kind of wanting Kraft to stay in, because Kraft for me has done nothing wrong when he's been asked to come in this year. So, yeah, 9 out of 10 for me.
9 out of 10. Wow.
Yep.
I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he was really good defending and stopping Martinelli, as well as moving forward, but better defender. So overall, good game. So 8 is well deserved. Gary.
Yeah, 8. Gave Martinelli and Jesus absolutely nothing in all game. Stopped as many attacks down their left, used the ball well, driving us forward, and firmly established himself as our first right back choice. I love the fact that yesterday, like I say, with the tactics, it went from a 4 to a 3 with Hall moving into the middle, doing a step across, and then Tino just made it a 4, like a 3-3, like a wide 3 midfielder, just to support the lads in the middle of the park if they needed to. So it was just that little bit of movement that was taking Arsenal all over the park. And like I said, sometimes just by, and I keep saying it, certain movements will upset the opposition. And I thought the tactics that Eddie set out yesterday for the likes of Tino suited his game absolutely perfectly. And again, the confidence grew all the way through the game. And for me, he was, like Win says, one of the contenders for man of the match for me, but not quite the man of the match.
All right. And so you ended up giving him
An 8.
an 8. There we go. Just to corroborate. Rolly?
Tino. I thought defensively, this has been his best game since he's been with us. Did give the ball away a couple of times at the edge of the box, but was instrumental in getting it back. And say Martinelli, I forgot he was on the pitch. He handled him so well. He found him in his back pocket when he got back to the dressing room. He gives us a bit more going forward as well. But I'm giving him an 8, not because I don't want to give him a 9. I think that it's more to do with that I'm going to have an awful lot of really high scores when we get to some of the other players. And I think he's in that. I think he's just outside that man of the match conversation.
There we go.
An 8.
All right. Good. Mr. Steve?
I was very impressed with him. He is one of those players that have just got better and better through the season. And he's got his confidence. He's got good attacking as well as defending. I thought the way he came down that right wing was really good. And as you said, Martinelli, he just basically commanded him totally. And I'm going to agree with the others. I'm going to go with an 8. I think it was fantastic. I think
So, 4 people said 8 for him, so he's going to get an 8. Only the mighty win got overboard and give him a 9. All right. So the next one is the left back, Lewis Hall. Interesting. A lot of people say he was the man of the match. So, mighty win, what do you think? You're muted, man.
Can't hear you, bud.
Certainly a man of the match contender for me. 9 out of 10, no problem. 6 out of 9 ground duels won. 4 out of 5 aerial duels won.
Yeah.
And he's the rest of the stats are just mind blowing. Where is it? The 8 clearances, 2 blocked shots, 1 shot cleared off the line, 1 interception, and 4 out of 4 tackles. It doesn't get much better than that, to be honest. Pass accuracy was a bit down, 25 out of 35. But other than that, just absolutely superb, and could totally understand why everyone was waxing lyrical and putting him forward for England. Why not on yesterday's performance?
Yeah.
He's defensively, he's learning his trade, as he said in his interview. And thank you to Eddie for that, Eddie.
Okay. Gary, what do you think?
My man of the match, 9 for me. Unbelievable performance up against Saka. Seems to be maturing and improving with every game. And defensively this season, he's progressed so well. He's definitely knocking on the door for the England call-up, if I'm honest. Won so much in the air, as Vince just said. Didn't let Saka past him once. Read the play, won the ball. And like Win says, a lot of his passing was more of clearances. just to get the ball away from the defensive zone. So again, that's what I'm saying. It's all about maturity, when just to clear the ball and when to play the ball short. So that's coming into his game. Won several good tackles, some forceful interceptions, was a constant threat in attack too when he was allowed to go forward. But again, this is that maturity that he's growing into. It's about not him just going on a run. It's about when he times that run going forward. And like I say, when you're up against an international like Saka, and Saka's very quiet, and this is when you know the tactics actually working, is when they move. Their tactic was obviously to get the ball wide, when they then changed their system to try and narrow the pitch down a little bit to attack us through the middle. You've done a great shift. So for me, absolutely excellent performance, and should be in the next England team.
All right, so a 9 from Gary. Rolly.
I can't disagree with what Gary said there. I thought it was absolutely superb. There's one time in the second half when they were attacking the Gallagher, and I forget which Arsenal player. It looked like he was played through on goal, and he's going to score, and then out of nowhere, Hall comes and clears it.
Mm-hmm.
He was his defensive work has improved measurably since last season. I mean, he's got to be the way he's playing at the moment. He's got to be one of the best left backs in the country.
Yep.
And he's not just good defensively; he's good going forward. And as Wynn says, he wins his aerial duels, and he's not a big lad. He's not tall.
No.
But he seems to have got his timing of his jumps to perfection. His positioning's great. His distribution's good. He can drive the ball forward. I'm tempted to give him a 10, but I'm going to stick with a 9.
Ooh. There we go. 9 from Rowley to Lewis Hall. Steve.
Assist or a goal, I'd have given him a 10.
There you go. Steve?
I think he's, like I said with Livramento, he's done the same as he has. He's got better and better through the season. And as Gary said, he's ready for an England call-up. I think if he doesn't get an England call-up before the end of the season, there's something wrong. And he's just so good at what he does.
He's got to keep these performances up, of course.
That's it, yeah. But like I say, he's good with the aerial battles. And the one thing I like about him as well, he's a very good attacking player. He puts that ball through, or he tries himself to get towards the box. And his passing has been absolutely a lot better than what it was. And yeah, I'm gonna give him a 9. He deserves it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, on that one, the same with Fabian Schar. Everybody give him the same score, a 9. So that's what's going to have to be in this match for Lewis Hall. So right now he's got the highest score, and we shall see what happens moving forward. The next one, ooh wee, man, oh man, my oh my, hell has frozen over at last, man. I'm telling you. So Sean Longstaff. And the title, the clickbaiting title today was Longstaff a 10. So man, oh man, is that going to happen? Mighty win.
No, it's not going to happen. You're right. Here's the thing about Sean Longstaff, right? He's been back in the team for 2 games. We've won both games. The stats I showed on the show, on the breakfast show on Wednesday, just show when he's in the team, for whatever reason, we do better. We get more points, score more goals, concede less goals, the whole shebang. But you look and you think, how? What the hell is it that he's doing for to have this effect? Well, yesterday, you could see what he was doing. He was making tackles, he was making interceptions, he was breaking up play, he was passing the ball to Newcastle players. it was just a great performance. Great performance. So I'm going to give him an 8.
Give me it. Well, I'm gonna give him an 8 as well. I thought it's, with me and scores, it's pretty simple. Dude played well, so an 8. Not much more than that. This was the best performance I've seen him play since I've seen him play at all for Newcastle.
It's the
Although
best.
he's had good performances in that Champions League season, or at least he was part of that. But let's not cover the sun with one finger. Let's not cover the sun with one finger. Tonight, yes, last night, and that's all I'm gonna say. Last night was an 8. So Gary,
8, yeah, yet another pivotal performance. No coincidence that we look more solid when he's in the midfield. He gives us the legs that none of the others do. He hasn't got the technical ability, we know that, but he does read danger well. Some very nice forward passes to get us on the break. And the one thing that I loved about yesterday, and very few people will have noticed this, you need to go back and have a look. Willock actually wins a tackle, gets the ball back on the inside right position towards the right wing, and plays the ball backwards. I think it goes back to Livramento, who goes square. It goes all the way over to Hall, who comes back to Schar. Then the long ball comes across, and then he picks the ball up again from, and this is what I'm saying. He's involved in the game all the way, and it's the start of that, our goal, that very few people have mentioned. It's actually Longstaff that wins that ball back high up the pitch, and that's what I love. And it was also obviously his pass, which was inch perfect, pace perfect for Gordon not to break stride with that great cross. And yeah, so like I say, a lot of unseen work goes on behind the scenes with Lungy. So credit where credit's due. So
all right. So you said 8, right? Yep. There you go.
8, yeah.
All right, Rowley, the
Well,
biggest Longstaff defender in the history of humanity, not humanization.
I think if the hat fits, I'm going to wear it. I thought it was superb yesterday. What Win and Gary said, but he also blocks off the passing channels. His positioning off the ball yesterday was superb. We all know he's got an engine. He does the hard yards so that the likes of Willock and Bruno and J7 can play. And this has been that was one of his best performances since he's actually been in the first team. The midfield looked able to function because it's partly because the role that he's plays, no one else has actually really adapted to it. Now it's as you say, he's not a great technician on the ball, but when he's on song, he does the simple things easy, gives the ball to the people that can. And as Gary was saying, the weight of his pass for Gordon's cross for the goal was superb. Didn't have to break stride, perfectly weighted. He's also there defensively when Martinelli was attacking Livramento. He was there to double up. It's like in the game against Southampton, when we're down to 10 men, he was always coming back to help the fullbacks and be that extra defender. And he did that again today. I thought he was superb. Yeah, he's in the man of the match conversation, but he's not my man of the match. I'm going
Oh
to give.
my god, man! Next thing you know, is in the Tune Hall of Fame, man. Jesus.
I wouldn't go that far, but I just thought that was a really good performance. And when he
What was
plays
your
like
so? What
when he
was your
plays
score
like
then?
that, you tick 8.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
When he plays like that, the midfield really purrs and really ticks. And if we could, if say like Tonali could do that extra running and that defensive work that Longstaff does, I mean, our midfield be almost unstoppable.
Hmm.
Because obviously Tonali's got the technical ability that Longy hasn't, but he's not got that not work ethic. He hasn't got that work and that running in him that Sean does, because he's got such a good engine. He can keep going all day, and if we could get Tonali to that, obviously Longy would be on the bench all the time. But the other thing about Sean, I think he's better starting than coming on as a sub, because I don't think he's a sort of player that can change the game. Whereas Tonali, and I wasn't upset when Longy started over Tonali, but I didn't think he was going to be starting. But
I was.
Yeah, I know you would, but it's Tonali off the bench. I prefer him to start. Can change the game. Sean can't. But
I mean, that's another thing that needs to be said about Longstaff yesterday as well. The fact that Eddie dropped Tonali to play him, that was piling so much pressure on Longy, because he knew if he dropped a bollock, the crowd would have been on his back, because 90% of the
so
crowd.
that right there is true. But
Mhm.
he's one out of one. One match that he starts over Tonali, and he did well in that match. So he's one out of one. How many times is he going to do that? How many times is he going to play like this?
That's his problem, is consistency.
And what I'm telling you is you're setting him up for failure if you're going to put him to compete with Tonali every time.
Well, yeah,
Tonali is the better of the players, so he needs to be on the pitch.
absolutely. I mean, Longy should really be. He's a rotational player in my eyes.
But well, listen,
He's
I'm gonna.
a good player.
I
But I
think
wouldn't.
if because I said it yesterday on the match reaction. If Tonali, if Longstaff needs to start, then the one I take off is if that's the thing, if that's the mindset, if that's what everybody's saying that we won't win without Sean, which I don't, I still don't buy that. I'm not buying that car yet.
Yeah.
Then you got to Tonali's got to start though. That's not even that shouldn't be a question. So you're gonna have to bring in Willock down. Willock's got to be the other one because Bruno's got to start. And
But
and you
part of
put
the
Tonali in the middle.
Part of the success yesterday was specifically down to the Willock
Well,
J7.
I agree and disagree because in the beginning we saw Willock go into the number 10 role for a couple minutes. People would talk about that, but I didn't see anything great of him being a 10. That he went back to the wing and then him and Joelinton started switching off all the time. But you can still have Joelinton there on the left side, and I'm not necessarily sure and convinced that Willock being there and switching with Joelinton was the key to success yesterday. The key to success was on the right side, and an unbelievable cross by Gordon. So that's why we gotta calm down, let it simmer a bit, and take it with a grain of salt. Man, all of a sudden we didn't just become the Galacticos. Come on, relax now.
The other thing I'd say about Sean is that if he doesn't start against Forest, I wouldn't be disappointed or surprised.
Sure.
Because Tonali is a better player, but again, was it that Eddie felt for this particular game Sean was better suited because of the physicality of Arsenal and their chicanery and their dark arts? Maybe it's really for obviously Tonali he felt that for this game he's the right option. He might change it for the next one. I'm not saying that Sean can start every game over Tonali, but this particular game it worked.
Yeah, it worked. It worked. Steve, what's your score on Longstaff?
Well, I'm giving him a 9 because I'm one of his biggest critics.
Go on, Steve.
Defensive game, but his defensive game yesterday was a lot better. He didn't sort of if challenges, if the ball was lost or whatever, the player got past him, he was on the player. He didn't give up. He like in the past where he's lost the ball's gone forward, he hasn't been able to get hold of the player, try and get the ball back or whatever. But the way he played yesterday was much better. And it was one of the best games I've seen him play. And the other question is, as I said, starting with Schar, Longstaff and Tonali. If you think about it, he didn't take Longstaff off when he brought Tonali on. He took Willock off. So they can start together. It just means
Exactly.
Willock won't be on, Murphy won't be on.
Yeah,
it
but
just
he only
means that
took Willock
basically
off because he
he's
was
got
exhausted.
yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is he doesn't have to have neither of those players on the pitch to start. Willock could be on the bench. You know, it doesn't have to be. The thing is, if they can play that well like they did yesterday, then it doesn't mean that he has to put, Willock and Tonali separately. One on the subs bench and one on. It means it's like I said, the way Eddie put that team out yesterday, it was totally different to what he normally does. So you can see something that's changed. So if he can do that every so often, change things around, then we can play. You can bring players on that don't normally play together.
All right. Yeah, go on, Roddy.
You mentioned Jacob Murphy. He wasn't actually in the squad. Do you know if he's injured or anything? Does anyone know if he's injured?
Hamstring.
Yeah. I was going to say, I was surprised he wasn't on the bench.
Yeah. There's no clarity either from the club anytime somebody gets hurt. And that's it's a media thing like Callum Wilson that they have to come out. But if somebody gets hurt, they really don't come out and say it, All right, so the next one, Joe Willock, Joelinton, Willock. So people in the chat, please let us. Oh, by the way, Longstaff got an 8 overall. So there you go. Willock, I'm not convinced. Mighty win.
8 for me. Yeah, him and J7 on the left just ran the show up that end.
Ran the show.
Yeah, indeed they did. And
I mean,
with him staying up there allowed. I'm saying allowed. When J7 was going back on his defensive duties, which he did throughout, Willock was still an outlet for us and got the ball lots. Did plenty. Happy. 8.
All right.
Well, the Arsenal fans were raving about him. What did we let him go for?
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, but yeah. Well, I'm gonna give him a 7, just because I'm gonna give him a 7. Not to be honest, I thought he had a great start, but I don't know. He just didn't convince me. For some reason. Gary?
7. That wasn't because he played bad. He just, unfortunately, his legs couldn't carry him towards the end. He did disappear out of the game slightly. And again, that's just fitness. That'll come in time. And all I've written down is watching him in full flight is great to see after an injury troubles. Constant menace throughout. Interchange well with Joelinton. Became great target man up front. Caused them problems with his positional play and sense. And again, great runner with the ball, and the way he progresses the ball upfield, never looks in any trouble. So yeah, solid 7 for me. It was a 7.5, but because he started to disappear out of the game, I can't give him a half score, so I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay, Rowley.
I'm going to give him an 8. I just love the way he transitions from defence to attack, the way he drives the ball forward. There's one particular moment that comes into the mind, I think it's in the second half, where there's a ball that's loose and he gets there just before the Arsenal player goes round him.
Yeah.
Pass it to J7. J7 puts the ball through and he looks like his second favourite to get it. He managed to get it, gets the shot away. He also had a couple of shots. I know he had one shot that Rhea saved. He was causing them all sorts of problems. When he plays on the left with J7, they switch and interchange all the time. So it must be a nightmare to defend against. And he did his defensive duties well as well. So a solid 8 for me.
Okay. Steve?
Yeah, there's not much else I can say. Everyone else has said it. He had a good game. Him and J7 played well together, and hopefully they can do that again. So, yeah, 8 points.
8. There you go. So the majority has said 8. So on that note, Willock gets an 8. There you go. Would you look at that? Next one, Bruno Guimaraes. I thought he played really good. Played really good. So I'm gonna just go ahead and give an 8. Win.
I'm going to give him an 8 as well. I'm still worried about his. He got away with it probably 5 times yesterday. I think he drew fouls when he was trying to do his little pirouette, and he got away with it. Once he didn't, and once we were nearly caught out. But everything he just wants to be involved all the time. He's kind of the heartbeat, isn't he? And he was doing his captain's role. He was doing his crowd G'ing up role. Yeah, just great performance. Great performance here.
Okay, Gary.
8. I think he covered every blade of grass yesterday. Won plenty of crucial fouls with a little bit of shithousery as well.
Indeed.
To try and slow the game down when they were starting to get on top of us a little bit. Definitely the heartbeat, as Win says, of the team. And he showed that unique blend of graft and craft, as I call it, once again. And like I say, it was one of those performances where even when we started to make a change, Tonali come on and Willock went off because obviously Willock was absolutely running to the ground. But at that stage, captain went, come into the middle and I moved to the left. And he took it on the chin. So Tonali stayed central. And actually, on the change, it was Bruno that moved into the inside left position. So again, it's about showing that there's players on the park that are adaptable to play in all positions. And Bruno is one of them players that, to be fair, I think you could play him at right back and he'd give you a game.
Okay, and your score was
8.
8. Rolly.
I thought it was superb. Some of his close control in tight spaces yesterday was superb. He wasn't giving the. You think, he's being a bit too elaborate there, but he wasn't giving the ball away. Thought his passing was on point. His work rate was superb, and at the end of the game, when we needed it, he was buying us fouls to slow the game down, break up the momentum. I just thought it was a really, really good performance. So I'm giving it a 9.
All right, 9 to Bruno. Shout out to Andy Bell celebrating 6 months of membership. And yeah, all members, please stay tuned. End of the show, we're going to be giving away Newcastle United themed water bottle, pretty good gym bottle, I guess you can call it as well. So stay tuned, and you can become a member and also get access to that draw later on. Steve, what's your score with Bruno?
I would say an 8. Um, he is very good in tight spaces. He's, where he goes with the ball, he turns to those little pirouettes and stuff like that. I just think sometimes he's got to be careful because sometimes he loses control of that and the ball goes awry. And he did happen a couple of times in the game. But luckily enough, it didn't cost us any problems. I think he just sometimes does his fancy footwork, I should say. Fancy footwork sometimes doesn't always work. And he's got to be careful. Needs to be a bit more controlled.
There you go. All right, so Bruno gets an 8. The next one is J7. He was certainly busy, and I'm just for this one, I'm going to just because he just barely makes it into a 9. Barely makes it into a 9, but I'm going to give him a 9. He was going to be an 8 solid, but I think he was just really good, man. Really good. Mighty win.
Yeah, 8 solid for me. Not quite the 9. That was better better players on the pitch. I suppose that didn't stop him getting a 9 as well. But no, he's just a beast. And him and Willock, especially in the first half, just ruling the roost up that left wing. Yeah. 8 for me.
Okay. Well, Gary.
Yeah, 8. It would have been well. I'm harping on a 7.5, but we don't give halves. But he did give away lots of silly free kicks up on that left hand side. But again, another player, doesn't matter where you put him on the park, he's willing to do a shift for you. He's not the most technically gifted, we've seen that, but his physicality, he is the big general on the park. Wherever you play him, he always plays with a smile. He always seems to want to get the crowd and will please the crowd. Rotated well with Willock defensively as well to add a little bit of muscle into the centre of the park. Went into left back at one point, left centre back again, covering for the lads when they were trying to break through the channels. So again, plays with that intensity, plays with the fire, and plays with the will to win. And I think, sometimes it's just wanting that extra 5% out of players. And, J7's one of them players that can just turn the game. I love the fact that, like I say, he stayed out wide on the left hand side. And when that cross come across from Gordon, if Isak hadn't have won it, you'd got Willock, you've got J7 all bombarding into the far corner of the penalty area with a chance of getting onto that ball. So again, it was just lovely to see us trying to overload in certain places, and you need players that are willing to run. J7 got one of those players for me. So good 8.
Okay. Rolly.
That man is a beast. Um, he's. I just love the way he holds the ball up, no matter how many people are around him. He muscles people around. And so it's not the most technically gifted, but it's his strength and the way that he holds the ball up, and his touch is superb. I think he plays really well with Willock. He was all over the place. He didn't neglect his defensive duties. So when he's needed, he was back there helping out. I just thought it was a really, really good performance. I'm giving him a 9.
There you go. And Steve, you're gonna be a bit of a tiebreaker, man. But what's your
I
assessment?
just think he was everywhere. He did the job he needed to do. Like I said, him and Willock played well together, and he was just a powerhouse. That's what he is. He's just he gets in there. Yeah, he gave a few fouls away, but I suppose at the end of the day, that's what he is. He puts his power on and his body frame on these players, puts his long legs out, and it's just the way he plays. And I think he was really good yesterday, and I'm going with a 9.
There we go. So J7 gets an overall 9 on on yesterday's performance. There you go. The next one is Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon, AG. I will go first because I'm trying to influence you guys to score like me. And to me, this is going to be a solid 10. I mean, he is the man of the match. He could contribute to the only goal. He assisted. By the way, um, the when Longstaff passed him the ball, he didn't control it. He didn't do anything. He just one solid hit, perfect cross, and defensively he was unbelievable. Going back, the only thing that I wish he didn't do is just pass the ball too hard to Pope. Other than that, he was great. So it was unbelievable. So AG gets a 10. No agenda on my end, Mighty Wayne. I don't have agendas.
Good
It's
for
just
you. And he gets a 10 and
objectivity.
he gets a 10 and a man of the match from me as well. Just
Ooh.
from the first 20 seconds, he instigated the press that were continued for the 90 minutes. he was like a dog at broth, just chasing everything. And his defensive work yesterday was outstanding. Forget it, we'll come on to the cross and things, which was just, you'll not see a better cross than that ever. It just
No.
doesn't happen. But it also, by the way, it also pays tribute to the ball that Longstaff played to him, because that was inch perfect and he literally had to just swing his leg at it. But the point is, he had to swing his leg at it and he got
Exactly.
it just plumb. He'll not hit a ball as sweet as that. If you give him, 100 times, you do it once. And that was it. Absolutely perfect. Man of the
Yeah.
match for me.
By the way, we didn't do a man of the match poll, so we're gonna do that now that we kind of halfway through. Man of the match, we got 4 candidates to put. Got Gordon, Isak, Hall. Who else would be another one?
Livramento.
Well, y'all happy with Livramento? Everybody
Yeah,
else?
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have Isak in there.
No.
Gordon.
Well, he scored, so that's what he won. So, so you said, which other candidate, Rolly?
Did you say Gordon?
Gordon is on there. They said Livramento. So would you vote Livramento, or you got any other options?
What about Bruno?
All right, well, you say Bruno. So Steven?
Longstaff.
Get the fuck out of here. So Bruno or Livramento, folks. Bruno or Livramento.
Livramento.
Or Gordon.
He goes Livramento. So there you go. Livramento. And people will vote. Who was the man of the match? Please vote in the chat right now. Gary, what do you think about AG?
Sorry, 9 for me. Solano Gillespie-esque on that cross. Unbelievable assist. Ran his socks off. Lasted the game all but to the last 5 or 7 minutes into injury time. Come off on 88 minutes. But like I say, you could just see the lad was, running on literally air and gas by then. He caused Timber no end of issues down the right hand side, and it was the setup. As I say, if you have a look back at the goal, the way we distributed the ball to Gordon upset the back forward of Arsenal. They were all over the place, totally out of shape, and it was the cross without a touch that got us the goal. Because if you'd have got a touch, it would have allowed Arsenal to get back into some shape to try and defend the cross. So it was an inch perfect cross. Couldn't fault him yesterday, not at all. So he was my runner-up as man of the match.
Okay. 9 there. Rowley, Gordon.
I'm going a 9 as well. I thought he played really well.
From one Scouts to the other?
Well, I'm not. Yeah.
I'll give you a shit.
Merseyside, but I'm not actually a Scout. But yeah, I thought. I mean, that. How can you describe that cross? That was just superb, delicious.
Ooh, delicious.
Yeah, it was. It was just begging someone.
Delectable.
Yeah,
It was porn, man. I'm telling you.
yeah, it was football porn. It was. It's just He's just calling for someone to get their head on it and just put it in the top corner, which actually happened. I thought defensively he came back covered well. I remember there's one where a ball through to Jesus as he is controlling it in the box. Gordon nicked in and took it off him. We had a couple of runs where I thought, he got caught on one where I don't think he realised that the defender was tracking back. So he wasn't. That's towards the end of the game, so he might not have had any gas in the tank. It caused all sorts of problems. Yeah, 9 for me.
9. There we go. Steve.
Wow. He's one of my favourite players in the team, and he had an awesome game yesterday. Absolutely fantastic. His runs were spot on. As I said, towards the end, yes, he goes a bit tired, but like I said, he's playing week in, week out, especially when he had that injury. And I don't even think he's fully fit, 100% fit yet. I don't think that we've seen the best of him. and I would agree. I'm going to give him a 10, but I think he's awesome, absolutely awesome.
A 10. There you go. So you were the tiebreaker once again. Is he your man of the match?
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely. He's
There
just
we go.
brilliant.
So he's got his man of the match right there to 10. So Gordon will get a 10 on this voting on this one. So there you go. Mighty, when you want to show us something.
Can you stick that
So
up?
yeah, what do
Just
you
to
want to show
show
us?
you, that's Joelinton's heat map, Gordon's heat map. If you put one on top of the other, between the two of them, they covered every single area of the pitch. Between the two of them, perfect matchup.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Gordon man of the match. Well, there we go. Gordon man of the match. What happened just here? We gotta sort that out. There we go. It keeps doing that. All right. Next player is going to be Alexander Isak. As I was coming from St. Louis yesterday, driving home, I was listening to ABBA. Gimme, gimme, gimme. There we go.
From Sweden.
Sweden. Oh, you don't get to sing that song, so stop saying that because you were one of his detractors, and I won't allow you to sing that song about a player you've been slating for the past 3 months.
No,
So, Isak, I will give him a 9. I thought. By the way, we talk about Gordon and crossing and all that sweet stuff. You got to put it in the net before that matters. And he certainly shut his haters yesterday. Shut up his haters, saying that he can't score this way, that way. Just when you throw him a ball out, how many times have we crossed the ball to him just like that to his head for him to score? How many? I guarantee you, this was the first one ever. And so he put it in the net. Stone Cold Killer could be, in my opinion, a second best striker in the league. He has different skills, different attributes. That doesn't mean that he's not a proper striker. He's just a different one. He scores goals nonetheless. You feed him, he will eat. You just got to give him enough food. So just because AG just had a more impactful game, I'm going to say 10 him, but Isak 9. Uh, Lovely. Without him, none of this high and all of that stuff, all of that doesn't matter. Without him, none of this matters. None of it. None of it. So, Mighty Win, go on.
8.
8.
You're saying give him the balls, cross him the balls, and he will score. Da. He won 2 out of 6 aerial duels yesterday. 2 out of 6.
Yeah, that's good.
1 out of 4 ground duels. He's too lightweight. He's not. He's a good old inside forward. He's a good old number 10. He's not a centre forward. Yeah, Granny could have put that one in yesterday with the quality of the cross.
You are crazy. That's how much you know about football. Nout.
Well, there you go. So, anyway, nonetheless, he did put it in. So he gets the kudos for that. And he put himself around a bit. He was the start of the press, as Gary was referring to earlier on. And 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. Okay, 8 out of 10. From a hater, 8. You know he played a 10 probably. If a hater gives him an 8, you already know he was a 10. So Gary, Gary, go on.
He's not a centre forward.
Isak at 8 for me. Took his goal brilliantly. Looks to be finding his form. Never made things easy for Saliba or Gabriel at the back. Even bringing the ball down, the long balls, he did good effect. Linked our attacks. He come out wide at times, moved their defence around all of the time. So never static, which was lovely to see. It did tire to a lot towards the end of the game, and we all said, I wonder whether there was a change going to come on with the Suda coming in. But again, it's that mindset, that tactical awareness, just to run the centre circle to close the passing angles off. To me, it just means that the lad's getting the minutes into his legs. It's only going to be a matter of time before he's really sharp again and firing all cylinders. But it's 3-3 for him, and it's a perfect week. fit and firing Isak is crucial to any success this season, I believe.
Yep.
All right.
Callum comes back.
Rolly. It comes back. He's gonna go right back where he belongs, in the nursery room. Rolly.
Yeah, I thought that's Isak's best game this season. Just plugging my laptop back in because the battery's about to die.
There you go.
Yeah, I thought that this is his best game this season. I thought his movement was superb. Right, Wynn's going on about not winning many aerial duels, but that's not his game. He was actually trying this yesterday. Was putting himself out physically about more than he normally does. His pressing was great. Took the goal well. Had another shot that was saved by Raya, which was a decent shot, but a little bit close. It was a comfortable save. But yeah, he tired towards the end. But he's a sort of player that when he's on the pitch, the defence have to worry about him, even if he's just sort of like strolling about, because the guy's got his dribbling ability and his overall quality makes him a threat just by being there. Yeah, I thought he had. I mean, that header was just superb, perfectly timed. It was just a brilliant header. But that goal was just superb. All of it, this build up and the actual finish. I'm having an hour in between an 8 and a 9.
Go on, bro. You know what it is. You know what it is.
Yeah, I'm going to go 9. I thought that he had a really good game. And at the end of the day, you want your striker when he gets a clear-cut chance to put it away.
That's right.
And that's what he did.
Really, you mentioned in there that I brought up the heading stats, and you said that's not his game. I absolutely agree that's not his game. The reason I brought them up was because Chris opened up with, if you give him those sort of balls, you'll put them away.
Or you give cross like that and see how it scores. Cross like that every time.
Yeah. It's just like that. But in the middle of the park, he's not gonna compete. Well, he did actually compete on Saturday, but normally he's not really competing.
Yeah, the point was that ball went between Saliba and Gabriel.
But you're not speaking of Isak's ability.
The ball went between them, so he didn't have to compete for it. It was just there on his head. He didn't have to compete for it.
You understand? You gotta head it and accurately score, right? You understand that part?
I'd say you could have scored that goal, man.
Man, that's crazy, man.
His positioning and movement, he got himself in between them.
No, it was because the cross was.
Well, hey, you're not going, Rolly. You're not. Give up, bro. I'm telling you, you're not going. Hey, even the blind man could see it, man. You cannot. You can bring the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink, brother. Trust me. You just gotta let it be, man. Steve.
Yeah, he played well. He was in the right place, the right time for the cross to come over and head it in. But like Wynn said, I do agree with him that he's too bit of a light player. He needs to put a bit of bulk up. I think he's not very heavy, and when it comes to challenging for a ball with players that are bigger than him and much more top heavy, he's going to lose out, and maybe that's what's going to affect him at some point, where he's not going to get the goals from challenging for a ball between players. But like I said, with crosses like that, where the ball's perfect, he's going to put them in every time. But at the end of the day, he's still got to be able to challenge players who are bigger than him at some point, and he's going to lose out every time because they're going to know what he's going to do. They're going to start learning about him more and more, and he's going to have less chances.
Mm-hmm. So
I think that his ability on the ball mitigates against his strength against bigger, more physical players. Because if he can get the ball to feet or in space, he can wrap them around his finger.
Yeah, but at the moment,
fantastic
all the balls.
Striker. He's not a centre forward.
The
Yes, he
balls
is.
get to him most of the time. The players around him because they know he can strike the ball the way he can. You know, he hasn't got the strength like some centre
Yeah.
forwards have got,
Yeah,
and he hasn't got it.
strength isn't the be all and end all.
No.
Billy Whitehurst had strength, but you wouldn't change him for Isak.
No.
Some of the
Or
older
Chris
viewers
Wood.
like Lynn will know who Billy Whitehurst was. And he was an
Mm.
ox. He was strong, but he wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
a tenth of the striker Isak is.
But it's a different game these
So,
days, so,
so,
you know.
I
so
know. Yeah, you wanted to be physical, but it's not the be all and end all. You
well,
look
Yeah.
at Henri. He wasn't a physical striker.
No.
and he was a center forward.
He was a striker. He wasn't a centre forward.
He was a center forward. This is the same thing. He plays center
No, it's
forward. That's
not
what
the
it is.
same thing
Yes,
at
he
all.
plays
That's what
center
I keep.
forward.
This is
He
what
plays
you
center
can't
forward.
understand, man.
No, yeah, I can actually. You can't. You want an Alan Shearer every time. It doesn't exist. It doesn't happen, man. It's over. That time went. We didn't win a damn thing. It just gone, man. Move on. And as Steve is saying, time. Football has changed. Well, football has changed to Isak. You know, the days of an Alan Shearer. Tell me which one, because if you think Haaland is an Alan Shearer, you're wrong. You can give Haaland the ball in the midfield, and he can dribble that thing all the way until he scores. It doesn't work. Those old
Wait
trunks,
a minute. Can I put this
trees
to
are not
bed? I'm not saying
non-existent.
Isak is not a striker. Isak's a fantastic striker. I'm saying he's not a centre forward. He's a
Well, you're not gonna
striker.
put it. You're not gonna put it to
Fantastic
sleep.
striker.
You're not gonna put it to sleep because every time you come out, you always talk about how Isak is not good enough to be our playing centered where he plays now, and that's the way he's been scoring for Newcastle United. And by the way, those crosses, we don't play like that anyway. We don't. That's not our game. We don't. We're not even good at set pieces. All of a sudden, because we beat Arsenal, we're excellent at everything. No, we're not. That's not our game. So we really can't not. We can say Isak is not strong. Isak is weak, and he won't score at any goal. We don't have proof that if we start crossing the ball to the center forward, which is Isak, that he won't score. We don't know that because that's not our game. We don't play like that.
Well,
We don't cross
I'll grant
to
you
the center.
that. But
We don't know.
I'll also grant you that if we did start slinging them over, when he's got a challenge for the ball to win it,
You would
he
assume
wouldn't be
that, but
able
we
to
don't.
do it.
You are assuming that, but we don't know. So, Steve, what was your score for Isak?
8.
Okay, so you're gonna get your wish anyway. So Isak gets an 8. There you
No,
go.
it'll be a 9 at least because I was 2 10s and 2
No, 2 10s. What are you talking about, man? Me and Rolly gave him a 9, and you, Gary, and Steve gave him an 8. So 8 wins. Let's go with the subs. Sandro Tonali. Sandro Tonali. So, what can I say about this guy, man? He needs to be starting, but it's weird. Uh, I don't think I'll ever get off the Tonali horse. I think he needs to start. He's the better player, and in my opinion, you were gonna win games if you play your best 11. You got to put him where they play well, though. So maybe he needs to be centered, and so there you go. I think it's either for me if Longstaff needs to play, then it's either gonna be Willock coming off or Longstaff himself. But if Willock has to play, then it's got to be Willock. But Tonali cannot be on the bench. I just will not understand that, never. So I'm going to give him a 7 just because of the minutes and everything. But when he comes on the pitch, man, he's different. He's just different. Mighty Wayne.
And I think exactly the same. Yeah, I'll give him a 7 because he wasn't on the pitch long enough to make that much influence. But I mean, as soon as he came on the pitch, first involvement, straight through, and had to chop him down. I think the kid was lucky just to get a yellow for that, incidentally.
Yeah, that wasn't a yellow, by the way.
Because that was absolutely blatant and dangerous at the speed he was travelling. He was nowhere near the ball and just took him clean out. So, yep.
Okay, you say 7, Gary?
7 for me, yes. Some tidy touches. Shortly coming on to, he was given more of a defensive remit, to be fair. So never really got to showcase his attacking prowess. But again, it seems as if he's getting the confidence to talk to the lads. Me and you commented, Chris, when we were on the live watch along, when he came on. If you listen, he gave Bruno instructions, and obviously that was Bruno moving into Willock's position, doing the left channel, and he stuck centrally. And again, looks comfortable on the ball every time he gets it. Never looks in any trouble. Never looks rushed. And he always, you can always tell a good player when they're able to find space, and he always looks like he's got space around him. So yeah, solid 7 for me.
Okay, Rolly.
Again, solid 7. I thought that for the time he's on the pitch, he did well. He did his defensive duties really well. Uh, um, his one-touch passing is really, really good.
Yeah.
Ultimately, before the season out, he will be the regular starter in that midfield. I think in some ways he's still adapting to the style of play. Though he's been training during his ban, training is not the same as playing. And there have been games where he's been a little bit almost lost in the midfield, and sort of games have passed him right. I just think it's just a case of just needs more playing time in that role. And that ultimately will be the midfield will be him, Bruno. As we're on the wings, it'll probably be Willock with Joelinton playing on the wing, and those two swapping. And there's no doubt in the guy's quality. I just think that he just needs to get a little bit more accustomed to what is required of him by Eddie in the role that he's playing, and he'll get there.
Yeah. So your score was
7.
okay. Steve.
Yeah, 7. I think he made a couple of good runs when he came on. Played very well, very defensive. And like I say, didn't really see him do much because, like I say, he wasn't on long enough really to really get into the game. But yeah, 7, and I'm hoping he starts a lot more this season because I think he's showing what he can do.
There we go. So we got a 7 for Tonali. The next man that joined us, to join in was Lloyd Kelly. So can we score Lloyd Kelly? Really?
5 for me. Just everybody starts with a 5, and he wasn't on. He was on for.
I would agree with that. No, really, not impactful, obviously, because of the time and everything. But
I don't even know if he touched the. Did he touch the ball?
Yeah.
Anyway, but Gary.
Yeah, 5 for entering the field. I suppose, like I say, it was just a close shop. It got to that point where we needed to waste a few seconds. So it was a tactical substitution as well as closing the door.
If you were being harsh, you could mark him down because he had one touch and he lost the ball once.
Well,
there you go. And so, I mean, the rest of the guys, what do you think as well? I mean, Lloyd Kelly.
Barnes, wasn't it?
Honourable mention for
Wasn't
Harvey
really
Barnes.
long enough.
Barnes came in as well. Honorable mention.
Yeah.
He's there.
I'm going to give Barnes a 7 because yet again he got there was one occasion when he got to the byline. This is Barnes on the right wing, got to the byline and really did well to cut the ball back and put it across where J7 just went over his head. If he timed his run better, that could have been another goal. But who knew? Playing right footers on the right wing would get you crosses in the ball in the box.
So I mean, I guess we can just default 5 for Barnes as well, because I mean,
He was hardly on, to be honest.
Yeah, nothing. Honorable mention there. Let us do the last guy, and that is going to be obviously Eddie Howe. What do we rate Eddie Howe as? Don't have him on the screen, but I'll work on that. As far as Eddie Howe is concerned, mighty win.
9 for me. I said before the game, you'll be judged on the performance. The proof of the pudding will be in the eating, and the proof was right there. Back to our 22-23 vintage. Superb. 9 out of 10. Schooled Arteta, he did. Schooled him.
Okay. What do you think? Gary?
10 for me. Tactical masterclass yesterday. Even when Arteta changed his system round to try and get into us, Howe saw the danger and changed the shape of the team again. Again, this like a fluid 4-4-2 went to a 5-4-1, 4-5-1. There were shapes coming in and out, and everything that Arteta tried to do. Eddie Howe just backed it up with another just slight shift, and it closed all the passing angles. Only a couple of times when it looked as though they were going to get in and behind us, but again, because of the shape of the team, it was all the avenues was blocked off. So you've got to give credit where credit's due. But like I say, everybody that I saw in social media, even us on the show, was questioning the lineup. But again, it just proves sometimes if you take a step back, and Wynn's already mentioned it, I've mentioned it previously, it was the team that was the Champions League team. We played like the Champions League season, and it just proves, going backwards sometimes to a tried and trusted can pay dividends. So well done, Eddie.
Rolly?
I've got to go 10 out of 10. He got it spot on. Apart from the first couple of minutes, Arsenal they could be playing now and they weren't going to score.
Right.
We outworked them. We outthought them. We made them look like bang average.
Yep.
The tactics were spot on. And how many times do you see Arsenal outplayed like that? You don't, because they're a very, very good side. And to make them look ordinary, you've got to get your tactics right and the application, and they got both. Saka was a non-entity. They took Martinelli off because he was getting no change from Tino. It was just, I don't think that he could have planned it or run the game any better than he did.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, Steve.
I thought he put a good plan of action in yesterday, and it paid off. Changing Gordon to the other side, and even when he hands on, he played him on that side as well. Putting Willock and Joelinton on the other side. I think it was absolutely brilliant the way he changed things yesterday. I think that's what put Arsenal off. Arsenal weren't expecting that. I think they were expecting Gordon to be on the left, and whoever they decided to bring on the right. And I don't think Arteta was ready for that. I don't think he actually game planned his team for that. And I think Eddie Howe doing those changes actually won us the game, really, because Arsenal didn't know how to compete with us.
Yeah. What was your score again?
I'm going to give him a 9.
9. All right. Well, that's interesting because I give him an 8. Good performance for the manager, but we got 2 9s and 1 10 and 2 10s. So, I'll tell you what. Let's go with the highest score.
Give him a 10.
We're gonna give him a 10 because of the highest score. I don't agree with Tonali not being on the pitch. So I mean, with me, that's I'm going to deduct a point. I gotta stick to my guns, man. And by the way, Mister Joelinton for life, who is Eddie Howe's lawyer, seems like, I understand. You say that and people say that Eddie Howe doesn't have a plan B or doesn't do this, doesn't do that, and so as if you're kind of saying that everybody else is wrong. Well, you're telling me, man, it took Eddie Howe this long to figure out the last 2 lineups, to figure out what to do. It took him that long because it was bad result after bad result after bad result, and even when we got results, we got bad performance after bad performance. So it is what. Let us calm down. Eddie got a 10 today, and we'll keep going, moving forward. And I thought he did really good because of the tactics, that part. Tonali needs to start, though. Let's be fair. I think the majority will vote on that. But well done, Edward Howe. Well done. Anyways, we got. Yeah, go on.
Eddie, that if we'd lost the game, I think, everyone would be moaning, oh, Tonali should have started, which he probably should have done, but he didn't, and it worked. So I'm not going to give him any. I wouldn't give him any stick for that, for picking a winning team. Well, let's see who he picks. That's for this game. We play Forest next weekend. Let's see what he picks for Forest and how they do.
There you go. All right, let's do the giveaway. So this is a new system. By the way, I'm making the chat right now for members only. It's Joelinton for life. We just disagree, man. We always disagree, by the way, for the most part. Oh, we were together on the Isak thing because that's a clear. Anybody can see the agenda of the mighty win, so that's kind of pretty clear. But chats is for members only, so only members can chat right now. Please place on the chat hashtag because it's crazy when you do matchups and your hashtag for matches are the two clubs together, and like Chelsea versus Man United would probably be CHEMUN, hashtag CHEMUN, and so on and so forth. So I thought I was clever yesterday when because our hashtag for the match yesterday, because us being at home,
Nuance.
it would be new R's, and I put on there we tore them a new R's, didn't we? And so the hashtag will be hashtag new R's, new because of Newcastle, R's because of Arsenal. Don't get it confused. So please, if you're a
Is that
member,
with an E at the end?
if you're a member of the channel, place the hashtag right. Well, no, rock the tune, not that R's, bro. The literal new for Newcastle. R's is an ARS. There you go. You took it. You took it literal, brother. But that ain't gonna win you nothing. So put new in R's. There you go. And hopefully this thing picks it up as well because this is a new thing. And there you go. So we had to. And by the way, you will be winning a cup. Let me see if I can actually show it as we're doing this.
I wasn't the only one, done it.
Yeah, no.
Oh, there's going to be a
No,
few.
you weren't. No, you weren't. So let me see. Let us do this thing here.
And
This
someone's
thing
still
is-
done it.
Make sure you put the hashtag new and then
Alessandro, wrong one.
exactly Alessandro Minetti.
There's loads of people put it the other way.
So this is the cup right there that you're gonna win right there. That's the cool cup. The thing is like 20-something bucks, man. Your membership is only £2. You better be thankful. Jeez, I keep ripping the mighty win off. He keeps paying for him, and I don't pay him back.
Correct.
No, but
bucks. Jesus Christ, that's overpriced, isn't it?
20-something bucks. Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Jesus
So
Christ.
that's the hashtag, and so make sure you put. Oh, I got to do it too, man. Because if I win, you better not think that I'm going to give it back. I'll buy it for myself. So there you go. All right. So that is the thing right there. Okay. So what was crazy is that I'm trying to do the thing here, and it's not really saying that I had any participants. So hopefully this thing will work this way. Not sure.
I'm in
Oh,
there, and I'm the only one that I can see.
What?
There's loads in the chat. They've put it in. So.
no, there's loads in the chat, man.
Well, wait a minute.
For some reason,
I need to refresh the other.
it's saying the title does not include hashtag. That should be the hashtag text. Why is that thing not working? I should have tried this before, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
But then again, you can't try if you have no comments. So that's the problem. That is the thing. How do I do this now?
Computer says no. That's the one.
Oh, look at that. So now we got some comments going through the screen. Only beer Viking. Let me see. All commenters. There we go. We do all commenters. Oh, that's so we got 40 participants. 40 participants. I think it might be doing it like multiple. No, I don't think it does. So we got 40. Do you think we got 40 hashtags?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah, there you go.
There seems to be quite a lot going in.
All right, so Nuars is the thing. All right. Here we go. We got all those people going through the screen. Look at that. Darren is. He's not D. That's a D-Mon. He's not a member though. So that's the thing. Got to filter by.
Got a filter.
Yeah, got to filter by hashtag.
Well, you can do it, and if they win,
oh, there we go. Now we got it. Now we got it. So okay, I got it.
Got it.
There we go. That's the thing. I had to just delete the hashtag because it already puts it in. So there we go. We got 19 participants. 19 participants. And let us do it. You guys ready?
Yeah. Let's
all
do
those
this.
possibilities. Mighty Winnie, you in,
Come
man?
on.
Well, I'm in.
I haven't seen him yet on the screen.
Come
Davey
on,
T's in. AG's in. Matt Fletcher.
Mason.
Niall.
Mason. Look at Mason. Gary's
Mighty
in there.
Mac.
Oh, there's Mighty Wayne. There's Mighty Wayne.
Yeah, there he is.
All right. So, let us wait. Who's going to win this cup, ladies and gentlemen? Let's get right to it. Let's start.
Come on.
Look at that. Spinning. Going around. Who is it going to be?
Come on.
I'm in there too, man. IG.
Love to see anybody get this.
Oh, David T.
David
David T. Wow. Davey T. Good. Well done, man.
buddy.
First
Well
time
done.
you're winning something, so it's a good one. Davey, you're in the chat. Let me know, man. Oh wait, Davey is definitely in there. I just saw his thing. So get in back of the net, just like Isak's header. There you go, Davey. So Davey,
Well
mate, if you can get in contact via email. I think that's unless you got WhatsApp. Let me know if you got WhatsApp. That would be another good one. But email me at, or actually email the Mighty Win because he's the head of twat relations, and the Mighty Win's email is TMW NUFC Talk.tv. Right, Mighty Win?
Yeah. I'm just busy doing something else here.
Yeah, there you go. So email the Mighty Win there, and you shall be able to get it done. To get your cup, you give him his details and everything, and you should be good to go, mate. I appreciate that. And well, fellas,
Before we go,
yep.
can I just put something up on the screen, just to show there's a couple of people that weren't sure whether Longstaff was involved in the goal. So this is there's nothing copyright on this.
Yeah.
So I'll let you do it from there. I'll put it
There you
up on
go.
the screen if you want to move it around because you've got the controls. So all I'm going to do, guys, all this does now is if you have a look at the bottom of the screen, it'll tell you all the players, where they're involved, as this goal goes in. So just going to play it on. So you can see Gabriel Martinelli. He's tackled by Longstaff. There's your play from there. Goes to Gordon, passes it all the way to Schar. Schar then goes across to Burn to Hall. Then Hall passes it to Schar, who throws the long ball in. Clearance is by Partey. Passes it from Isak. Isak to Longstaff, and then Gordon with the cross. So there you go. So we all started and nearly finished with Longstaff. Just wanted to show people that I don't just say it. I try and, I do a lot of work behind the scenes, guys, just to try and give you guys the truth, if you like. Sorry, mate, I've closed that off a little bit too early.
Oh.
Just needed to put it back. Yeah, thanks, buddy. So just so you're aware, like I say, I do have a look at every single play. I run it back 3 or 4 times just to make sure I'm right as I'm doing my notes. So just to clarify, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just trying to prove what I've put out there.
All right. So email David T. Email Mighty Win TNW at NUFCTalk.tv, and you get that cup sent right to you. Well, it's been a great show, man. Thank you, Rolly, for joining. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Mighty Win. Thank you, Steven. Rolly, we'll see you next 2 years, man. From now, 'cause come on, man.
On your
You gotta
travels.
get, we're gonna get because Rolly's got a lot of fans, Rolly's got a lot
Absolutely.
of fans in the chat, man. Be careful, Rolly.
Do you want to
Eyes
do
on
the
you, man.
prediction league?
Oh yeah, we gotta do that, don't we? So hold on, let me just quickly and swiftly. You got it up
Miles
or
away
what?
this week.
You got it up or?
Just gonna sort it.
Oh, well, I already got it up, man. You ain't even got it sorted, man.
Yeah, I'll
Do
put
that.
all the scores in now.
Yeah, but everybody else on the bottom.
Yeah, well, that Marky X, Foxy, and Brian Scott, I haven't got any scores in for them.
Yeah, okay. So you're gonna show it quickly. Let's do it quickly.
So there you go. That's
Queen of Heart is top of the league, man.
Queenie's
You-
top of the league, yeah.
Queenie.
So you're gonna show it or what?
Gary's second.
Are you gonna show it?
I beg your pardon. Yeah, 2 seconds.
Fucking hell, man. So it looks like Queen of Heart is top of the league. I did get a point. I think I did get a point anyway. But let
I
me
got
see.
nowhere near this week.
Can you? You've got that there, yeah. Right.
Oh, you gotta zoom in a lot, man. Zoom in. Zoom in.
I'm zooming in. I'm just there. That's too big now. Well, there you go.
No, it ain't. We can't read that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good on the screen. You can see it.
All the way to the right. There you go. So scroll up, and you can see that. So Queen of Heart up top. I'm still third, so I'm very much Champions League at the moment. I'm good. Joelinton for life. There you go. He did say 1-1 as well.
Yeah.
20 seconds.
So where's Steve Rocket too? Steve is mid-table, man.
Well, you're not 22nd because you start off at 5. So you're
Well, he's mid-table. He's mid-table,
17th.
man. He's just like us.
Not too bad, then.
Yeah, that's
so
well, you gotta get some points though.
18.
There you
Nobody
go.
predicted it right though, did they? It was a hard one, that one.
Yeah, nobody got it right.
Well, I said 2-2. I thought it was going to be a tight game. I thought it was going to be
me
like
too.
fourth score.
Well, I said 1-1. And I wasn't optimistic with the lineup anyway. But
well, the only thing I predicted last week was I had a bet on Man United and Liverpool to win. All 4 teams had to win in the League Cup on the game. All the teams had to score.
Well, the thing about even Niall Powell, he used to be top of the league, man. Now where's he at? Niall, well,
there's only 3 points.
Yeah, there's nothing
3
in it this time.
Yeah,
there's
still
nothing
got a lot
at all in it
a lot
yet.
of time.
Yeah, lots of time.
A lot of time.
Anyway,
Anyway,
26 games yet.
5
that's right.
What am I? 11 points off.
Yeah, man, that's like two good times you get it right, and you're back on top, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
2 good times. Anyways,
it's going to be a difficult one to score on the weekend. I'm telling you now.
Good stuff, and we'll get right to it. Of course, I'll post a picture tomorrow about it on our community and our group chat, so people know what's happening. But anyways, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for coming, Rolly, Gary, Steven, and Mighty Win. We will see you tomorrow. Monday show is always hot, so make sure you tune in. We'll probably start 9:30 p.m. tomorrow because I'll be at work. So 9:30 p.m. and or maybe 9. Stay tuned, somewhere around there. So thank you so much.
Hit the bell, get the notifications.
We'll see you.
Don't forget, we got the dinner time show.
Breakfast show, dinner time. That's dinner.
Well, lunchtime, dinner time, whichever way you want to look at it.
You're right, Gary.
Yeah, dinner time for me. Tea time is the evening one.
I call it lunch.
Anyway, it's lunchtime, man. Dinner is night.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. It depends on where you come from, man.
Anyways,
yeah, exactly.
We'll see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. noon at UK breakfast show. So stay tuned for that one. All right, we'll see you in the next one, folks. Bye.